Good morning. How are you doing? How are you feeling this beautiful morning? I do hope that you're having a swell time. Are you? Well, we are here to just make your day better. And today we're going to talk about something quite interesting and hard to do. A lot of us are having struggles doing that. And what is that? We're talking about financial intelligence. How do you spend your money? How do you use your money? How do you use your money right? And as usual, I have my personal gang. My personal gang on today's life. Engineer Tony.
How I use my money is my personal business. You don't bring it on the show.
Okay.
However, thank you for having me. Okay, that's Joyce's line. It's weak.
Okay.
I'm excited to be here.
Wow.
Good morning, Joyce.
Good morning, Prudence. Feels so good to be here.
It's good to have you too.
Thank you.
Good morning,
Good
Suleiman.
morning, Prudence. My money is my money.
Wow. Okay, that was wow. Just wow.
It looks like it's only you that is on the show.
I'm beginning to wonder, but then I know that by the end of the show we would have done justice to this topic. I believe so. So we're talking about money. I just mentioned earlier that that's one thing. I'm like, when you're talking about financial intelligence, I'm very skeptical and careful about that territory, because money is something that a lot of people misuse, and a lot of people don't even know that they are misusing that. So there are a lot of things surrounding finances, and as much as I'm going to give my own contribution, I know that I'm going to learn at the end of the day, and I do believe that you at home you're going to learn with us as well. Just remember that we are on Facebook and we're on YouTube, so you can just drop your comments and join the conversation. We want to hear what you have to say as well. As much as we're telling you, we also want to hear what you have to say to us. So please do make sure that you do go ahead and make your points.
Our WhatsApp community is really blowing up.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we're getting more international contributors. We have a lot of people that are from various countries within Africa who are on the platform, making contributions. Someone did a very long discussion about the show yesterday. She said she missed the discussion, but she feels this is what she feels, and I don't. It's too long. We can't take it on the show, but we'll find a way of posting it on Facebook. Since it's on the platform on WhatsApp, everybody can go back to talk about it. But let's since you brought our monies to public domain, let's talk about it. Why do people struggle financially?
I think basically it's because of the inability to understand and manage their finances or money. A lot of people, like when the show opened, I had, "This is my money." And so people would tell you cannot tell me how to spend my money.
Who said that?
It's my money. If I want to spend
Who said
everything.
that? Who said that?
Someone said that. That's the fence I can climb.
Okay. There's one thing to climb, and there's one thing to jump.
Okay.
So I hope you will not remain on the fence.
I hope when you climb, you won't see dogs. They say, just come, they don't bite. And you fall for that. And the next thing, it is the owner of the dog that is telling you, there is a clinic by that side. Maybe if you just go.
So it will get to that extent.
We
So
hope so.
basically, people have challenges with finances. Maybe I should say money, because of the inability to understand and then to manage their financial affairs. Most times we look at how another person spend to know how we want to spend our own finances. Probably Mr. A earns 100,000 and Mr. B earns 50,000, and then when I want to spend, Mr. B wants to spend 50,000. He's looking at how Mr. A that earns 100,000 spends, and he's following that path, and that's why you find yourself hooked. You find yourself stranded. You find yourself struggling. You find yourself indebted because you don't understand your own finances and how to manage it. A lot of times I've talked about healthy spending and then contentment. When you combine these two, that means you have an understanding of your own personal finances or your money, and then that helps you. If you have that understanding of your own source of income or your finances, it becomes easy for you to inculcate the habit of spending healthy and then being contented. There's no reason why I know I earn 50,000, for example, and then somebody is saying, oh, I have this shoe or this hair, and the hair goes for 65,000. Would you want it? It's above my income. It's above my finances. I should not say, I know that God is a miracle working God. Give me the hair.
Even though he is.
Yes, he is actually.
But not in that case.
You get? So I shouldn't be that careless. Oh, yes, I can afford it. I guess at the end of the month when I'm paid, it's not even enough to pay for the hair. Now, ignoring the fact that you have other bills, feeding is there, transportation, clothing, and all of that is not wise. So people struggle with finances because they lack that understanding of how to use and manage their finance.
How do you... I believe personally that if you manage what you multiply very well, you will multiply what you manage. It doesn't have to be money alone, because you don't spend, it's not only money that you spend to get the things you want in this life. Believe me, I have received things that I didn't spend money to get. There are things that I've started with money, yet I didn't use money to finish them. And it happens in life. It happens. And pinching from where Joyce started, that's how you know God is at work. You may have a million. You want to start a 10 million naira project. You may have a million. It's not foolishness to use the million to start, because God wants to see you start. So when you start, he has ways of bringing either the 9 million that is required or 4 million, and then balances it up with whoever or whatever to complete the project. But since we are talking money, do you not know that people, especially Nigerians, they are like, why am I keeping money when I'm in need? People don't need anybody to tell them, no, don't spend or spend wisely. Like I jokingly said when the show started, how can somebody tell me how to use my money? The same people who say that they take their money to the bank. Can you see the contradiction in terms? Nobody should... the bank is managing your money for you now. So he said nobody should tell you how you spend. Nobody should tell you how you manage your money. Why did you take it to the bank? And as a matter of fact, the person that is advising you will not have a pinch of that money, but the bank does. Just this morning, I woke up sadly. They remove almost 1,000 from my account. They say maintenance fee. What are you maintaining? Do you understand? So when you keep your money in the bank, it does not increase. If it's a Nigerian bank, it doesn't. I am waiting to see the person that will prove me wrong. But let's make this show extremely teachable. Right? Let's make the show extremely teachable. Last week, we talked about living within your means. I think last week or the week before. We talked about living within your means. What does that mean? There are people I pity, but I envy. See those people living in places that you can almost not imagine people live in? It's not their wish. That's why I pity them. But the courage and the pride that they have, that this is what I can afford and this is where I will stay, it trips me. Have you heard stories of people who say, I started this way, now I am this way. I started this way, now I'm this way. I saw a very, very interesting picture. They had Zuckerberg, and then they said school dropout, and then they put his picture. And then I think there was a logo of Facebook. And then they had, what's this guy's name? This computer guy, Bill Gates. They had his picture, and then they put school dropout, and then they put, then they had one other person, and then they put school dropout, and then they put his emblem, like his logo. And then the person said, me, school dropout, and then they put him doing bus conductor. Sir, there is a saying in Hausa that you dance, they spread you money. Chances are that if I climb the same stage, I'll be beaten. It's different strokes for different folks. People say that, and it's true. What works out for you, it may not really work out for me. In fact, what works out for you is yours. What should work out for me is mine, that I should discover. Talking about financial intelligence, if you sit down with 100,000 and there is no budget on a single naira on that 100,000, which all of us in this life are guilty of, that's how you spend the money. Yesterday I was talking to someone. He rode in on his tricycle, and he was like, he's a commercial guy. I said, wow, how much have you increased upon the old fare? He said, no, well, sir, I am yet to increase. Why? Because this fuel is from when the price was old. So I will not increase. I feel not right to increase. I said, no, you are not a business person. And I told him something. I said, I have done international trades, and I tell you how it operates. When you buy gas at 200 2 days ago, this is financial intelligence. You bought gas at 200 2 days ago, and today, 2 days after, it is 600. Why would you carry people the same amount you carried them when it was 200? How are you going to get the money to buy it at 600? That's the question I asked him. He said he didn't even think of it. I said you would have used the same gain as when you bought it 200. It's like dollar fluctuation. Anybody that is into international trades, he doesn't sell stuff to you until he checks the exchange rate. That is a very simple thing for anybody that trades naira to any foreign currency, or your currency in your country to another one. If you are doing yuan, China to dollars, America, before you give price, you must check it. No wonder almost every international trader puts his price on dollars, because they have one of the most stable economy. The dollar does not fall. The dollar is standing where it has always been. That's why somebody will say, dollar has gone up again. No, it's not dollar that has gone up. It's naira that has fallen. Yes, dollar doesn't go up. It doesn't come down. $100 is still is $100 from when dollar was created. So if you understand that common trade, it helps you understand. When something goes up, everything increases, especially if it's what propels the business. Sir, go to the market today. How much are you buying fuel? I bought 600 yesterday. In some states, 725, 700, 550, 400. No, there's no 400. But the 400 was like 3 days ago. So now, if you are buying at this price and you are doing your business, so when you hear that it has increased, you have to increase your fare. If not, you will use the money for the old stock to charge for the new rates. And when you go back to purchase, it will not be the same thing. So what is financial intelligence? You spend and look. Like the Bible says, watch and pray. You spend and look. If you went to the market yesterday, what you got at 100, today definitely it's not 100. But remember, your salary does not increase that often. Or your income does not increase that often. I was watching your show this morning, and a woman was saying, I'm encouraging women to start this kind of trade. If your husband is working with government or anything he does, start this kind of trade, because there is money more than what is there in the government. You think she doesn't know what's in government? She does. She does. And people who work for the government, they go to people like that to source for funds. They borrow money from these people. And these people are prudent in managing their resources. But a salary earner who sees money once a month, sometimes twice a month, and this is what I mean, even though it's funny, this is what I mean. Why are you laughing? You earn twice a month because the previous month they could not pay you, so they paid you the first week of the next month. So you see it as if you have earned twice in a month. But uncle, there are debts in the previous months, and you need to service them. So you must understand, if the economy of your country dwindles, you should sit down. If it's doing like this, according to a member House of Rep, Honorable Gudaji, he say it's doing like this and like this and like this. If your economy is not stable, you should check before you spend.
Very true. Very true. And I think that a lot of us fail to understand that fact, so we end up misusing our money. So you're making a budget based on the previous prices that you know. So if you want to spend, and then you're making a budget based on previous prices you know, and you're not giving room for the fact that the prices might have gone up, prices might have gone down. You're not even looking at that. So at the end of the day, when you go to the market and you finish purchasing whatever you need to purchase, you see that money is short or something, or at the end of the day, when you come back, the little that you think you have kept so that you would do some other small movement around with, you find that you have encroached into it because you did not have a picture of how the market is going. And that's how we have, a lot of us are living our lives. We were discussing this one time with a colleague, and she said that her major problem with people, especially the young people she sees around the Angwa, that we say, that's community, ghetto.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So
the slums. That's Angwa. Angwa, I'm sorry, but that's a perfect definition.
Oh well.
Please, let's be Christians on this show. Please, let's be serious. Go ahead.
So she was talking about how she sees the young people around the ghetto, the slums behave. They struggle. They strive to get money. And then at the end of the day, you see that they're going to go and spend it at clubs and other things. Yeah, you should enjoy yourself once in a while, but that does not mean that whatever struggle you are facing.
You have endorsed club in church.
No, I'm not saying club. I'm just saying enjoy yourself once in a while does not mean club.
Explain
you can go out and
if
eat.
The person feels that is his own way of enjoying.
You should go ahead.
You should go ahead and enjoy. But the repercussion
with these few words of ladies and
I
gentlemen,
exempt myself from that.
ladies and gentlemen, me and Joyce are leaving the set because of the ungodliness that is happening right here and now. Are you with me, sister? Let's bring a chorus so that we can nullify anything that. Prudence, let me tell you something about these people, and I'm going to ask a question. what forms the disadvantage of spending not wisely? Sometimes it could be a bad wife. Sometimes it could be a bad husband. Sometimes it could be a bad friend. Sometimes it could be peer pressure. Sometimes it's like what you're saying. Yes. You see, the things that the Bible says, while yet we were sinners, Christ loved us and died for us. And the Bible says, if any man be in Christ. So, once in a while, you remember the things of the former, not that you live in them. But let me tell you something. What is sold at 200, that place that you are talking about is not sold at 200. So if you want to have fun, don't foolishly have fun. Look for the place. Coke is Coke. Coke is Coke. The Coke in your angwa, in your ghetto, is a sir?
Advert.
Okay, yes, the Coke in your, they might look at us with the eyes of mercy and say, since you mentioned Coke in church, we'll give you 10 crates. we don't need the crates, we need the. So you see, honestly, if you have that at 200 in your area, and there are places that they are sold at 1,000 or 2,000, there's something you should tell yourself, that it is not the content you are paying for. It is their standards that you are empowering. It is their standards that you are making bigger. Before long, with this kind of money gathered, the price will shoot up at that side. Why? Because they find out that they cannot be done without, and they are number one in that league. So people should understand, the best way to have fun is to do what you have pleasure in doing, right? If it does not offend God, right? But when you carry money from Monday till Friday, and you say Saturday and Sunday, you look at the money and say, the way I will deal with you, money will not tell you anything. But guess what? Money is saying in a voice, small still voice that you cannot hear because of the loudness in that your place, that deal with me is just 2 days, but I will deal with you for 5 days. But you won't hear it. Financial intelligence. I will deal with you. Is this all 2 days you want to deal with me? Deal with me. Saturday and Sunday, and maybe Friday, 3 or 2.5 days, finish. And Monday. And most of the thing with people who spend, who are frivolous with money, they don't realize that they are getting broke while they are on their spending habits. It's when they are done, they'll be like, please, do you have any? I don't have. Joyce, I don't have 100 naira. Why are you asking me for 100 naira on the show? I don't have.
That's what you hear from
you see,
people
yes,
like that.
And people like that, they are asking if they go high, the highest they can go is 500. That's like the senior ones. They don't ask, is 15 naira, 100 naira. Let me just get to work. I know there is a way I'll come back. And most of these people, their tomorrow is not promised based on the kind of businesses they do. Because they wait on others to make money, then call them because they do menial jobs. So if you are watching this show and you say, person must have fun, no. Nobody, not even a pastor, not even God, will deprive you. When he says you should dominate, how does it? Fun is part of dominating. Fun is part of it. But when you dominate, when you have fun at the expense of your own comfort, it's not fun anymore. It's foolishness.
And due to that, today you see a lot of people struggling. We talked about suffering some days ago, and is lack of, for so many people, lack of financial intelligence is what has kept them suffering. Like, you get money, you don't know how to manage it, plan, and all of that. It just goes like that. Money does not stay in the hand of someone that doesn't know how to manage it. Before you know, the money is gone, and then you're back to, can I get 100 naira from you? Can I? I've seen a lot of people. I will not ask for 100 naira.
Why have you been asking? This is the country I asking for 100
I
naira.
will not ask for 100 naira, you know. I'll ask for.
International TV.
So.
You ask for what? See people by your left, there are two of
I'll
them.
ask for millions. So, honestly, we need to work on our understanding our
Sip my tea and
finances.
mind my business.
Finances and knowing how to manage it. If you do that, if you understand that you're going to have peace to some extent. In today's life, you see a lot of people in businesses struggling. You see businesses that go down. You see people almost being disgraced day in, day out because of their lack of financial intelligence. Do you know that there are people that spend because they are expecting money? You go and borrow because somebody promised you that, don't worry, at the end of the month, once I get to so money that I'm expecting, I'm going to give you, even if it's 100,000, I'll send it to you. Then you go to somebody and say, can I get 50,000 from you? I'm expecting money at the end of the month. You've not gotten that money yet, but you've spent the money that is a promise, not something you even worked for, that you're very sure that you're going to get it. And you just start borrowing. And so you keep yourself indebted. Like at the end of the day, you start thinking, okay, that person that promised you didn't give you the money. And you start calling me, say, oh, myself as well, the money I was expecting I didn't get. That is why you didn't hear from me. And you are already indebted. What do you do? So it's very important that I think the basic thing is contentment. If you are contented with what you have, even the Bible encourages us to be that. When you don't engage in unnecessary competition, unhealthy competition, because your neighbor is doing this, you want to do that. And then your own financial strength is not as the person. Probably the person is coming from a wealthy family or has someone that is supporting him or her. And then you're just in fact, like there are people that in their own family, they are the breadwinners, like they are the strongholds. And then the other person has other family members that are doing well. That if you just call, they will send you money. Call this one, send money. And you know that the financial strength of your family is just on your head. You need to be wise when it comes to managing finances.
There's I'm sorry to cut in. There's someone I told. He blocked me. And I wish he's watching, because I've been laughing at him ever since. I said, so you're talking about people who win bread for a living. You are talking about breadwinners in families. I told him, I said, bro, do you know the danger that you are the richest person in your family and there are hundreds of poor people in your family? Do you know the danger? I said, what I'm going to tell you, you won't take it well. And he, of course, he didn't. He hit to the prophecy part, but he didn't take the advice. I told him, I said, if you are rich in a family and everybody looks upon you, there's no way you can service everybody's needs. Sir, divide your money into 3. The third one, divide it into 2. Then 1 you'll be using to help. You have allocated that for help for your family members. That 3. Then it's not dividing your money into 4. If you have 1,000, divide it into 3. Then the third part, you divide it into 2 and keep 1 part for helping your family members. He said, why am I saying that? I said, before long, if you keep helping people this way, you will become as poor as they are, and nobody can be of help to anybody, even in emergency cases or times in your family. He blocked me. He even told his wife that this advice came from me, and he wants to block me. How will I tell him to stop supporting his family? I was told that he farms in the village now. They have left Abuja. He sold the house they are in because his brother got into problem, and then the brother was taken to prison. So he started selling everything. Every court day, he sells something to give the judges or whoever it is to bribe so that his brother will be released. Guess what? He sold his house and paid, and the brother died 2 weeks after in prison. Because they kept transferring the brother from one prison to the other, one prison to the other, like that. I think he got sick. And he sold everything. The only thing left was the wife's car. The only thing left was the wife's car. He started calling me up and down. It was my turn too. So, amen. Mm-hmm. So he could only reach me on Facebook. And we spoke. I said, this is what happened. He said, Gaskiya don't want an answer in an. But it sounded like an evil advice. If I had known, I would have listened to you. But it sounded then like an evil advice. I said, look, sir, there is no money enough to go around in your family. Let me explain. If somebody has a need of 10,000 and he knows that you are a governor and you are in the same family, he won't ask you for 10,000. He would ask you for 50 or 100. And when you give, he will come back every day or every 2 days to ask you. If you don't have sense to multiply that money, how would you service these needs that are coming like religiously? So it's better. You have one person in the family that will, that person is in prison. He's not, his leg is not, they didn't cut his leg or he's in a helpless. No, he did something and he really did it. He's alive. He has hope that at least one day he will come out. But he came out not alive. So I want people that are watching to also think it's draining. It drains you. You have to weigh the problems. And family members, there are some things that family members bring upon themselves because they know Joyce can help me. Let's go to Auntie Joyce. She's always helpful. You know, a pastor told me how that he borrowed, was it 6 million or so? I said, sir. He said, the people are sending him texts. He can borrow 50, he can borrow 100, he can borrow. They were sending him texts, so he kept borrowing. I don't think they have even released him. Because, yes, he was showing like he was a big pastor. So his brother came that they needed, 4 of them that they need 500,000 each to enroll in one of the security paramilitary we have in Nigeria. And then he gave them 2 million. And then he gave each one of them 50,000 for transportation. It turned out to be that they scammed him. And he borrowed the money. I don't know if he's out of prison. So look at the decision that this man made. Look at his members. Look at his family. Look at everything. Decision that one man made affected a whole lot. So you have to be careful. If you are saying financial intelligence, at what point should I spend and how much? Simply put, at what point should I spend and how much? Because at what point answers if the need is important. There are certain things that, like sometimes when they bring me documents to sign and they stand on my head, I ask, is it a matter of life and death? You say, no, it's not a matter of life and death. Okay, drop it there and go. Because sometimes the mistake of one person, not that the person intended, but he made a mistake and you endorsed it. And tomorrow, you are found to be someone who is not accountable just because of negligence. Sometimes you don't just wake up and start doing stuff. Joyce, thank God, I just remember a point from what you said. Most of what people go through is as a result of, I want to be seen this way. By who?
By people.
Who are the people? You don't even know them.
I want to prove a point.
You don't even know them. How many people do you know in this life that you know one-on-one? Are they all living in the area where you are wearing this clothes to go? No, that's a question.
Yeah, to some people.
Will they see you? No, they will not see you. So there is no compliment. There's nothing. You just want random people to see you dress well. Nothing wrong with dressing well. But if you start dressing well at the expense of your financial standards, something is wrong, sir. Something is wrong.
I think to some...
Sir,
yeah.
when you go to buy clothes, if they are even used clothes that people buy, they're in grades. Why? Because the same skirt Joyce is wearing, the same skirt I'm wearing, the same size, the same manufacturer, but someone brought it and said, mine was overused. And it's 200. Hers was probably used 5 times. So it's 2,000. And then I drop mine and say, no. Get me this one that is not forgetting my financial standards. Even old clothes that people say. And they sell old clothes everywhere in the world. They sell used clothes. In America, they call it the flea market. In Nigeria, we call it bend down select. It's just that markets like that are celebrated on certain days. And you see people come, they sell antiques, military ranks, and all of that. And people say, they call it flea market. So they know that there are people who are living under standards. And there are certain things they cannot afford. So when you buy yours, either throw it away, they pick it up and bring it for you to use. So if you don't identify where you belong financially and advise yourself, I see long, hungry days ahead.
Very true.
Because I wanted to say, budget is key. Understanding who you are, what you want, and what you need is the way forward. Because the devil is very wise. That he can use anything you feel you're comfortable with, and that's the line you choose to leave. Can use that thing and deal with you without you knowing. Because if you say, okay, for instance, Sambo, you work in Equa TV, people see you on TV. It's not wise for you to go to Gonjo and bend down select and pick things. And when you walk, people
That's an
example.
Because I pay you too much not to start thinking that you.
Yes, that's an example. I'm just saying.
Why are you skipping that part?
No, what I'm. You pay us well, and we appreciate.
No, I'm talking about you because somebody is not satisfied with his salary. So if you should say, like Joyce now, she's complaining every now and then that she wants it to hit 2 million from 1.8.
I don't want to use Joyce because we started not on a
clean slate.
So whatever I say now, she can just. So I just trying to avoid that. Yeah.
So speak
but
for yourself,
comfortably,
please.
I think I will use prudence. Being my sister, and then the
Joyce,
beautiful in the house.
Count on brother. Anytime.
Yeah, anytime.
Big bro available.
So
you have lost your position in your life. You face the man that is wooing you on set.
Don't worry. If we are going back home, it's his house that all of us will go and settle. Even if it's veranda, we'll stay there.
Make your point.
Make
your point, please.
Okay.
We are itching to make points. Please go ahead. Make your weak point.
All right. So what I'm trying to say, wherever you're working or whatever you're choosing career, just see it. Put yourself there and see how people talk to you about what you do. Because that's where it starts. They'll be like, no, this kind of prestigious place, no, you don't have to. But in that place, it's based on cadre. You know your position, you know your income there. And then if it's business, you know what you are selling. And you know your catchment area, you know your customers. And business is in cadre. So what position are you? That will give you the sense to know that, yes, this is where I am. And the beauty of life is that there's a room for growth. That if you are open, you can discipline yourself to that growth, that you can enjoy that thing that people are saying without even suggesting to you. Because when you get there, your body will tell you that you need this. If before you want to eat something of 1,000 naira and your income is 500 naira and the only thing you can use in that 500 naira is 150, when you adopt the room of growth and you say you want to grow in this particular business and you start earning 2,000 naira, definitely that 150 that you are spending, it will adjust. It's that time that you start thinking maybe you want to use 200 or 500
If
in
at
that
the
money.
moment what you can afford to eat is mango, please, with all joy.
With all joy. So
Yeah.
you
But
see
eat the
people-
one that they fried.
mango.
Yes. Or boiled one.
If what you can afford is chicken, eat it with pride.
With pride.
If it's mango in the morning, wash it and take it with pride.
With pride.
You know, the thing is that,
Mm.
we live in a world where people will applaud you till you go down. They will raise you up like this, and then when you're up, they leave you, you fall down, and they still talk about you.
Yes.
Most times we do things to please people.
Mm.
Like, what would they say about me? I can't even go and start when you just have 200 naira, and then that food that is there is sold at 200 naira. But because you are feeling, I'm a TV girl, now can I go there and let me go and then you want to take yourself to where you cannot afford, and then at the detriment of what? I remember one time that where we had was I think it was a 2,000 naira some years back. I and one of my colleagues, and so we're I want to eat shawarma, and see, this is the only money we have. If we try it, what happens tomorrow? And then we just said, okay, well, this life we cannot kill ourselves. You know, Prudence spoke about enjoyment earlier on, so we went and used that money to buy shawarma. We were eating and having fun and enjoying ourselves. Then the next morning, it was time for breakfast, and it was, oh God, here are we before your throne of grace. So sometimes we shouldn't be foolish. You know that the only money you have is 10,000. You're supposed to balance your school fees, and you say, well, I have a friend, I know that eventually. How can you be making plans with somebody's money? Like the people that do that, the gods, like you're making plans with somebody's income, and then the person eventually borrows you the money, and then when he's asking you back for the money, you are the one getting angry with the person. The other guy that I brought his story here one time ago that borrowed money from his friend to complete his school fees. When she was asking him, he said that she's disturbing him. She said, oh, she's going to involve the police, that she should call. I called him and I said, why would you say that? You needed it desperately. I even had to plead as well on your behalf. And she gave you that money. Should have used it for something else. If she invested it in business, do you know how much you would get? And then she pitied you and gave it because of how important your education is. She's asking you for the money. You said she's disturbing you. That if you want to call police, you should call. Even Nigeria is owing China. The gods.
Some people have guts though. But I just wanted to say,
yes, taking the conversation to an international level.
I also wanted to say that
You
it is
ask
important.
locally to pay. Now you have taken the matter to international
International
And they
standard.
can get
Angry.
See
I-
that.
I was going to say that it is important that you don't let people's standards dictate how you use your money or how you live your life. I can't live my life according to somebody's standards just because the person says, oh no, you're supposed to be like this because you're in this position. Excuse me, is he paying for my bills or is she paying for my bills? No. I had this, I jokingly used to say these things in school. Like when I'm doing some things and we're like, hey, hold you're doing something like this. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't spend this money like this. You should have gone higher. And I tell people, and I was jokingly telling them always, am I owing you anything? If I'm not owing you anything, please leave me alone. Let me live my life the way I can live it. I know I jokingly say it, but I made it a motto that I should live my life according to what I have. If I don't have it and if I can't afford it, I block my eyes towards it.
I don't live my life according to what I have. Honestly. Because if it's according to what I have, you still go back to spending frivolously. You live your life according to what wisdom says. Because you can have 10,000 and 10,000 can buy you shawarma. How much is it?
2,000.
Okay, you carry 2 friends and you buy with Coke and everything. That's 7K or 8K. And how much are you left with at the end of the day? Maybe 2K. It's what you have. But are you wise in spending? No. See, that's why I like you on the show. You bring brilliant points. How can you say that you live according to what you have?
But you
she's
know, I
try-
didn't
what
finish
she's
saying
trying
what
to
I was
say,
saying. Is that
even though you chip in,
yeah?
Ladies
know,
and gentlemen,
she was-
we have declared a debate on this
you know,
show. And
because what she's trying
judges,
Go.
co-debaters, accurate timekeeper. Why do they call them accurate? Have they ever been accurate?
When
Never.
it's time,
Is
They
the
don't
clock
miss.
that is accurate?
They-
It's not you. So you see, honestly, but that's how I feel.
Mm.
That's a valid point based on how you understand it and how you put it. But I think we are saying the same thing different ways. But I can't spend based on what I have. One time, I was in Abuja. I saw a car. I was like, man, I love this car. Do you know what? At evening, the same car, I met the same car at a spot at evening where they make what do you call this thing children love so much? Pizza. Precisely at Domino's Pizza. I saw the car during the day. Yeah, I know I'm advertising, don't be angry. I saw the car during the day, and in the evening I took my kids and I saw the same car. Guess what? It was a lady driving it. I like the car not because the car is not popular, but hers was. It was branded in a particular way. Like the bumpers, the front and rear grills and everything. Like the car was so touched up. And I asked her, I said, please, I'm sorry. Your car is beautiful. She said, it's fine. I get that everywhere. That she shouldn't be driving this car. It looks like a man's car. Because people keep, and men, and the people who keep talking to her about the car are men. This is not to brag, sir. I was really in love with that car. So I asked her, I said, don't be offended. She said, I know. And she mentioned the price without me asking. Because people ask her, like, how much? So I said, please don't be offended. She said, don't worry, I know what you're going to say. And she told me, sir, guess what? I have the money to buy 3 of that in my account. Then, that's like 8-9 years ago. Or 7-8 years ago. But sir, because of the things that were lined up, that time, that car was not a priority. Why? Have I stopped loving it? No. So if I'm to live, if I'm to spend based on what I have, I will just buy one. I'll still have the money for 2 in my account.
Just buy 2. Dash me 1. You understand?
Off his mic. So look at it this way: that you are dealing with so many things in your life that at that point in time, that was not a want, it was not a need, it was nothing, it was nonsense, it was just desire. So if I had bought that car, I would have been the owner of the car, right?
Sure.
But you know what? These other problems that needed urgent attention, they would have grown. Because if you don't spend on a 2,000 naira problem today, tomorrow is not 2,000 anymore. So if we're living within our means, sometimes it's not even within the 20,000 that you earn. Sir, live as though you are earning 10.
Yes.
Because if you live within that 20,000, you spend everything and your son gets sick. And your daughter gets sick. And your wife gets sick. And they call you with an emergency. That is how you start calling people. Because China too is owing Nigeria. Because Nigeria is owing China, I beg your pardon. Right? So think about it. If this is how much you earn, you should save for medicals. You should save for eventualities that will not. They may not show up now. We live in a world that is full of uncertainties. A lot of them, you know. So the time is fast spent on the show. Let me hear your take on how you, apart from how you spend, how people should spend. Just with maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, it is quite important. It is actually important that you spend your money wisely. And when I say wisely, just like I'm just going to emphasize on what Engineer Tony just said, it is
You that is expressing love, they are not using what you said.
You are joining them.
She has joined. No, she is. She has called my name already. She has joined. Go ahead, sweetheart.
it is important that you spend your money according to what really should be a priority. What are your needs that need to be worked on right now? That's what you should spend your money on. Yes, once in a while you can spend your money on once in a while, just satisfy that desire once in a while. But please, the emphasis is on your needs. Make sure that your needs is what comes first, because if you don't meet your needs with what you're having, at the end of the day, you just crash. And it is important to know what your needs are. Don't go and take your wants and think that it is meat.
Let's hear from the brilliant girl.
Well, financial intelligence.
Well, you are shouting. Don't go and spend your money. Let's hear financial. Let's hear from the brilliant girl.
Financial intelligence entails you understanding your income and knowing how to manage it. Spend with wisdom.
Sambot.
Yeah. Talking about wisdom, talking about knowledge.
There's a tribe. They always add tea. Anything. Turn it. That's my name.
Is it
Sambot
Kaduna
Joist. Prudence. Solot.
Tea?
Go ahead.
It sounds like
Go
Kaduna
ahead.
people. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's very important to have wisdom, to have knowledge. And that entails that, having that, it will help you to spend your money based on your need. Doing that shows that you have wisdom and you have knowledge.
And people must understand that your life is not based upon how people rate it. Your life is based upon your objectives in life, your goals, what you want to achieve. If you have a vision, you can't just live life anyhow. You should have a mission. What did you come to this life to do? How are you achieving it? How many children do you want to have? And how do you want to have these children? With what means are you going to take care of these children? Don't say God will provide. I know that one is factual. But we are saying that you can't go and have 8 children on a 10,000 naira job. You can't just be littering everywhere, with children. It's quite true. You can't be doing that. Wisdom should be able to advise. Do you not know that there are people who have started building 10 years ago, they have not finished till today? When, as a matter of fact, if you are taking it according to who you are, you would have stopped paying rent for 10 years. But you want to say, no. This guy at my office, he has a 4-bedroom and he has 2 children. What if guests come? What if this? What if that? No, you have to live within your means. It is very, very important. Thank you very much for watching today's live on Equa Television. We have comments on Facebook, and please do well. Yes, and the community. Just do well to read the comments as our time is already gone. We'll see you tomorrow as we talk about social media. You can't wait to have that topic. Bye-bye.